Yes, good afternoon. Am I audible? Guys, am I audible? Yes or no? Kartika Jaya.
Yes, Dinesh, you're audible and like we can see the
Fine,
screen too.
fine, sure. Okay. Guys, what we are discussing? We are discussing
Terraform.
Terraform. So we are discussing the Terraform. So what is Terraform? What do you understand? What is Terraform? Terraform is
Is an
Infrastructure
infrastructure or
automation tool.
exactly correct.
infrastructure as a whole.
Yes, it's an infrastructure as a code or infrastructure automation tool. It's a provisioning tool, infrastructure provisioning tool. It's an infrastructure provisioning. See, if we go with the AWS or Azure or whatever the cloud provider, if you want to create any resources, when I say resources like EC2 or S3, RDS and all, you have to manually do it, right? But I don't want to do the manual kind of, creating a servers or allocating some kind of storage. So I need to write some piece of code. That code will provide you the environment, will provide you the infrastructure. On top of the infrastructure, we can able to provisioning the resources so that we can achieve with the help of a tool called Terraform. Terraform is the infrastructure as a code tool. If you go with the AWS, we have a cloud formation. The same way for Azure and Google Cloud, they have their native infrastructure as a code tool. But when you go with a Terraform, it is independent of your clouds, right? It is supporting the many cloud like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, right? AWS, Azure, GCP. Or suppose if you want to go for some private cloud, there is a private cloud called OpenStack, right? OpenStack. So that's a private cloud. Where also you can able to use the Terraform in order to provisioning the resources. And say suppose if you want to maintain the database, if you want to maintain some third-party database like Snowflake warehouse, right? So that also you can able to maintain with the help of your Terraform. So there is a Alibaba, right? That's also another cloud is available, public cloud, right? Kind of a partner. So this different kind of, clouds, public and private cloud and DB, everything you can able to manage. You can able to, you can build it by writing the code with the help of your Terraform. Terraform is the common template the every company they are using for maintaining their entire infrastructure, even on-premises server, their local data center. Right? If you go with the Ansible, right? Ansible generally we will use it for on-premises. Yes, of course, we will use it for cloud. That's for configuration management. But when you want to build a complete infrastructure from the scratch, the people they are going for this Terraform. So if you want to understand different providers for your Terraform, when I say provider, which is an infrastructure, right? Who is going to give the infrastructure? So this is an official website from your Terraform that will tell you what are the different, providers supported by your Terraform. Like Terraform supporting AWS cloud, where you can build your own infrastructure from the scratch. It supports Azure, Google Cloud, Kubernetes, Alibaba Cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. See, there are number of clouds available right here. Time template, right? Vault, VMware. So Terraform has three category actually. Terraform has three category. So one is official, and another one is partner, and third one is community. So if you take official, you can find AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Platform, and Kubernetes along with this thing. And you will go with the community also. Community means the whoever they are maintaining their own infrastructure. They may put their code or put their servers or clouds into the Terraform. Right? This is the community Agile Airbyte. You can build your own cloud and you can give it to Terraform. Thereby the Terraform using the Terraform you can build your infrastructure in your cloud also. Right? It's a community provider. And some partner also available like Alibaba, Oracle. So they are the partners. Right? Here also we have a different cloud providers. Right? So that's the reason every company for building their own infrastructure without an manual intervention kind of automation. See, if you go with the CI/CD pipeline and all with the help of Jenkins, suppose if you are doing the manual intervention, that's not a CI/CD, right? So you want to make the Jenkins setup on top of your AWS cloud. Now I want to build my infrastructure on your AWS. I don't want to do manually. So everything I should do it with the help of an automation script. So for that, people they are going for a Terraform. So Terraform uses its own language, as like your Ansible uses YAML, right? Terraform uses its language called HashiCorp language. So who developed your Terraform? HashiCorp, right? HashiCorp is the organization who developed the Terraform in the year of 2014 or 15, right? Not sure. This organization, this company, they made one native language, which is called HashiCorp language, short form HCL, HashiCorp language. So this is the language used inside your Terraform. So what you have to do? Using the Terraform HashiCorp language, you need to write some kind of script. Thereby, we can build our infrastructure in any cloud. It might be a public or a private cloud. Right? So far clear, guys?
Yes, Dinesh.
Sir, in the AWS, there is a cloud formation and elastic beam stack. Both will do infrastructure provisioning. But what is the difference between them?
See, suppose if we are using other cloud provider, in that case, we cannot use it, right? Cloud formation or elastic beanstalk to build the infrastructure on other cloud. What about if you are using both public and private cloud in your company? In that case, I cannot use it cloud formation, right? Only cloud formation is available inside your AWS. What about outside the AWS infrastructure? Then I should rely on some common template, right? Common language or common script in which we can able to prepare your resources on infrastructure, right? For that reason only we are going for this other provisioning tool like in Terraform, Puppet, Chef and all. Aman, did I answer your question?
Okay, sir.
So what I'm saying, Terraform, it is not only for particular cloud provider, it is for a big community, right? That's what I'm showing here. So it is using its native API. It is using the native API interaction. So using that, you can able to communicate with other providers. Right. So let's begin the practical. Guys, Terraform is a third party. Terraform is a third party, right? If the Terraform wants to communicate with your AWS, what is the one thing you have to set up? Can anyone tell me?
Server, in that server, we need to install the Terraform.
Yeah, maybe if you are creating a CentOS or Ubuntu machine, On top of that, I need to install this Terraform. But what I'm asking, in top of the AWS cloud, suppose I'm using my local machine. So consider I'm using my local machine. And in my local machine, I have a Terraform. I want to use this Terraform to communicate with your AWS cloud. In that case, what should I need?
SSH.
From your local machine. To
No idea.
connect your Linux server, yes, of course, we need the SSH. What is the one we have to create, which is called permission? What is the permission? Did you remember IAM?
Here
IAM.
we need to create access key and secret key, sir.
Exactly. So we have to prepare an access key and a secret key, and we can attach some kind of a policy, and then maybe we can give the programmatic access, and we can locally we can install the CLI, and from there, we can pass the access key and secret key in order to log into your AWS cloud. So fine. So I will tell you step by step. As a first step, I'm going to log into my AWS account. Already I have logged in. Now, as a second step, I will create an IAM user, guys. I will create an IAM user. Did you all remember, I hope? How to create an IAM user? Just to type I am here and click on this. Click on this. So I will click on this users. I don't have any user so far, so I will create an user here and give the username. Say this is say Dinesh. Okay. And I don't want to give the AWS management console access. So if you want to give it, I can give it. That's your wish. So I can directly go for next. Add a user to group, copy permission, attach policy directly. So if you want, you can attach also. So later I will attach it. Directly go on clicking on next. And come below. I will just add some tag if you want, or otherwise you can create a user. Directly you can create one user. Create a user. So what I will do, later I'm going to add multiple users. So I will create a group also. So I will create a group. I will create a group. Say this is admin group. Suppose I'm giving a name called admin group. And I have one user. So I will attach this Dinesh to this particular group. I will attach some policy also. So any policy you can attach. So we have some administrator access policy, right? Let me attach this policy. So when I attach this policy, whatever the operation that I want to do, I can do it, right? Suppose if you want to create some service, I want to delete some service, or I want to modify some service, everything, I can do it. So I will go with the administrator access and create a group. So that's it. Now this particular user, this particular Dinesh, he will get the administrator access. So you can check here this guy as an administrator access. It is respect to admin group. So I need to give a access key and secret key. For that, you will go for security credential. So I can create the access key here. Click on create access key. Whenever if you want to connect your IAM user programmatically, right? And to connect your IAM user programmatically, people will use the AWS CLI. There they will give the access key and secret key. Thereby, through the command line, we can able to connect, right? So I will go with you plan to use this access key to enable for third-party application or service that monitor or manage your AWS services. You plan to use this access key to enable application running on-premises or used to local AWS client or third-party AWS plugin. So maybe I will go with either 3 or 4. That's your wish. Let me go with this one. We'll see whether it is working. the access key to enable AWS CLI to access your AWS account. This also you can go for. That's your wish. So let me go with this one or third party. So directly I'm clicking on next. And any tag if you want to give it, say this is my access key, like that. Create an access key. So once you have created, download this CSV file. Maybe that will be available in your local machine. That will be available in your local machine. So now we have created the IAM user. Dinesh is an IAM user. On top of that, we have attached some permission also, which is administrator access permission. And we have added the access key and secret key with help of your security credential aspect. And we have that access key and secret key in my Excel. If you open this, access. See, here we have a access key and we have a secret key. So anyone can able to, they will log into my AWS IAM user account with help of this access key and secret key. Fine. Right. So any questions so far? Any questions so far? Fine. So I have logged into my AWS account and I have created one IAM user and I have given the access key and secret key also. Now let me install the AWS CLI. Right. In my local machine, I don't see AWS CLI. So I will open my command prompt. So I will check whether AWS CLI is available. AWS space -- version, and it is not recognized, right? So it means that AWS is not available. AWS CLI is not available. So in Google, just type AWS CLI, and you just install this AWS CLI. So for Windows machine, for Mac and Linux, they have given the separate, right? So I will go with the Windows. So I'm installing this one. So let me open this and let me install this. So I accept this and click on next, install. Just you can install AWS CLI to your local machine. So thereby, we can write the AWS command to interact with your IAM user. So because I want to connect that IAM user with help of that access key and secret key. So your AWS CLI install. Let me click on finish. And I will check your command prompt again, AWS space -- version. So now it is listing, right? When you install AWS CLI, automatically you will get the Python also and AWS CLI that is available in your local machine. So as the next step, I want to interact with this AWS cloud through the IAM user. For that, I'm going to configure the access key and secret key, right, which is already available. So let me type AWS, the command, which is AWS configure. I hope you all remembered when I was taking the IAM, right, IAM user. That time I told you how to connect programmatically. Yes or no? Did you all remember? I was taking this session.
Yes, sir.
So let's type AWS configure, press enter. So it will ask you the access key. So here I have my access key. I will copy this access key and give it here. Press enter. I should give the secret key also. So this is here. And I will take this secret key, give it here. Press enter. And it is asking the region. Which region do you want to connect? So I will sign into my console. I will go with any region, whether is the Mumbai or North Virginia, any region you can go for. So I will go with the North Virginia. So US East 1, US East 1. So type US East 1. And output format, maybe leave it as default, press enter. So that's it. That's it, right? So now it will be logged into your IAM user. I can able to, logged in. So let me check it also. So it is available. So I will go to your local machine, or otherwise I will show here. So in my local machine, C drive and users were public, not public, I think. So there's one username. And here we have one folder, which is .aws. Here you can find that credential, right? So if I open this config, you open this. Can you see here? I have chosen this, right? US East 1, North Virginia region, that you can find it inside this configuration. And the credential, whatever the access key and secret key I have given, right? So that you can find it here. Access key and secret key. Now, if you want to do modification, you can do it, right? Okay. So it is available in your local home directory, right? It is available in your home directory. So far clear, guys.
Yeah.
Right? So suppose if I type AWS, right, before that, say suppose is there any S3 bucket is available here? So I have a buckets. I don't have any bucket, I think so. So let me create one a bucket. Create one bucket. Right. So just I'm on North Virginia itself I'm creating. So apart from this, I don't want anything. Let me click on create bucket. So it will create one bucket, right? So if I check AWS S3 and ls command. So can you see here? I have created one bucket, right? V1-0607. It's a bucket I have created. So you can find it here. Now this is proving like you can able to interact with your AWS cloud with the help of this AWS CLI. Is that so far clear? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So far, you know how to create the IAM user, and I have added some administrator access. Administrator access that I have added. Right? So as a third step, we have installed the AWS CLI also. We have installed the AWS CLI. Once it is okay, then as a fourth step, we can download the Terraform. We can download the Terraform in your local machine. I will install the Terraform now. So we'll go for the official Terraform download. So it will go to the Ashikar. Is there an organization who is maintaining the Terraform? So this is the Terraform logo, you should remember. See, Terraform is an infrastructure as a code tool that lets you to build, change, or version infrastructure safely and efficiently. That includes, instances or networking, storage, anything, right? That you can do it with the help of, you can build your entire infrastructure with the help of a Terraform, right? So here they have given the complete picture or a complete, when you have a time, you just, read it. They have given the good documentation, and if possible, you can watch this video also. Right. So click on this installation, and they have given for each operating system, for Solaris or Windows or Linux, right? For each operating system, they have given the steps. Suppose if you are using the Ubuntu machine, I will go with this particular command. Suppose if you are using the CentOS, I will go with this command to install the Terraform. Right? I am using my Windows local machine, so I will go with this one. So here I will go with this. Click on this, and it will install Terraform in the form of zip file. So when you go inside that, I can see one executable file, exe file. Right? So I have a exe file here. This is my exe file, terraform.exe. So using this file, okay. So better I will copy this and I will put it somewhere. Say I will go with this C drive itself, but I can create one new folder also. Say this is my Terraform. This is my Terraform. So I will have it here. Actually, it is available here. So let me remove this and paste it. So I have a Terraform. So here I have a Terraform. Now let me check the command prompt. So here Terraform space -- version. It is available, right? In this particular location. But if you check here, Terraform space -- version, still it is available, then no issues. Your Terraform is good. Actually, I already set the environmental variable. Let me check that's also. Right click on this and go to the properties and check your environmental variable. Environmental variable. Terraform is already available. I will check. So I will edit this user variable first. Here I don't have. And here, click on edit and Terraform. Yes. Actually, I have already added the Terraform actually. That's the reason it is available. In your case, you should add it this one, guys. So maybe I will remove and I will tell you again. So what you should do, right? So you just, go to this particular location, copy this. Once you copy it, and click on edit and create a new, or otherwise I will tell you simple. Just click on this bar and click on edit and go to new and just add it. That's it. Click on OK, because for entire system it will be configured twice. Like Java that we are adding, right? In the same way, we are adding the Terraform location also. Thereby, everywhere it will be reflected. So Terraform, it is installed. Terraform it's installed. So you have to set the environmental variable. So as a fourth step, you have to install the Terraform and install and set the environmental variable also. Is that so far clear? Any question till here?
In real time, they install Terraform in local machine or Linux
No.
machine.
People, again, it will vary. Suppose if you are using the Windows server, yes, of course, you have to install by, manually, whatever that I have done. But suppose if you are using the CentOS machine or Ubuntu machine, on top of that, you can install your Terraform.
So in the instance server, we can also install like that, right?
Yes, for that reason only we have a steps right here.
Yeah. Steps, yes, yeah.
If you go with the CentOS machine, we have to use these 3 commands, right? To install the Terraform. First, you have to update the package, utils. The second one, you need a manager. You have to, like in Jenkins, did you remember? We downloaded a repository, right? So in the
Yes.
same way, you have to download add the repository here, adding the key like that. Third step, you have to install the Terraform. Suppose if you are using the Ubuntu server, you will follow these particular steps. Clear?
Yes, yes, it's clear to me.
Right. So I'm going to write the code, right? So this time I will tell you one editor is available. The editor name is Visual Studio Code. Generally, developer, they will use this Visual Studio Code to write, code, right? So like Java or C#, YAML, Python. It's a common editor. Most of the developer, they will use it. See here, there are many languages supported by your Visual Studio Code. The reason because it is very lightweight. So for that reason, everyone is going for Visual Studio Code for, writing the code. See Java, PHP, YAML, JSON, C++, right? JavaScript, C#, right? Many programming language. So now I'm going to teach you how to write your HashiCorp, right? HashiCorp. When I say HashiCorp, the HashiCorp, it's an organization which providing the HashiCorp language, right? HCL. So that language I'm going to tell you how to write it inside this Visual Studio Code. So it is not necessary like you should have the Visual Studio Code in your local. You can go for normal notepad itself, or you can use any kind of editor, right? But I will tell you how to use this also. Thereby you will get some idea. So for each operating system, they have given the Visual Studio Code. I will go with the Windows machine. So 88.7 MB file. It will be getting downloaded. Using that, you can able to write your code. So any code you can write it. Now I'm going to tell you the Terraform native code, which is HashiCorp. Right? So I will open this particular file. So I will accept the agreement. Click on next. And it will be added inside your programs folder under your home directory. So if you want to change it, you can change it. Otherwise, you will go with the same. And the name Visual Studio Code, fine. And I need a desktop icon also. I can click on this and click on next. And when you come back, can you see here? It will add the path also for us. We have done right path. The same way, path also will be added. So if you uncheck, it will not add it. But if you check it, it will add it. So I will click on next. And I am going to install this. So Visual Studio Code, I'm installing. So for what? In order to write your a piece of code. So I need some editor to write your code. You can go for any editor. I'm using Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio. So click on finish. Now this is how your UI look like for your Visual Studio Code. For some other batch, I have taken the session. That's the reason you can find this HTML class I have taken. It is taking this one, no issues. I will close this. I will close this. I will. As of now, I can close this. Okay, let I will do. Fine. Okay. Any questions so far? Any doubts so far?
No, then.
Okay. So to summarize what I have done, just I have logged into my AWS account and I have created an IAM user and I have installed the AWS CLI locally. And I have downloaded the Terraform also and I have installed and I have used the Visual Studio code. So what I will do now, say suppose I will go to this documents folder and I will create one new folder. I will create one new folder. Say this folder name is say Terraform. I will create one new folder. Say Terraform is the new folder. And inside this Terraform, say I am creating one more directory. I am creating one directory. Say creating one directory also. Fine. So now what I will do here, I will open my command prompt. Just to know, type code space dot. And you type this one, right? In this particular location, your Visual Studio Code will be open. Right? Let's see. It is opening or not? Yes. Can you see here? It is opening, right? It's opening here. Now we have opened the Visual Studio Code on this particular directory, say 01, something I have given. Okay. Now this Visual Studio Code where you want to, what you need to do? You need to write the HashiCorp language in order to deal with your AWS cloud. Guys, can anyone tell me in Jenkins, suppose if you want to interact with a Git, what is the one thing Jenkins needed? What is the first important thing?
Plugins.
Java.
Exactly. We need a plugins. Need a plugins. In the same way, your Visual Studio Code requires a plugin. Which plugin? Terraform plugin. Thereby it can interact with your Terraform, right? So for that, I will go to this extension. Extensions mean plugin. So here you can just type Terraform. Just type Terraform. So here we have this one. This is the official one. HashiCorp Terraform. Now you need to install this one. I think in default it is available in my machine. It is available in my machine. I'm not sure in your case. Maybe I have already installed. That's the reason it's showing. If it is not available, you have to install this. You have to install. You find the install symbol here. You just click on install and you can restart your Visual Studio Code. Thereby, you will get the Ashik or Terraform will be integrated with your Visual Studio Code. With your Visual Studio Code. Can you tell me any question? Guys, any question?
No.
Okay. So in my case, I have a Terraform, so I don't have any problem. So now I will create some file. I will create some file. So this is to create a new folder. This is to create a file under your 01 folder. So I will create the file action. So the file that I'm going to give, any file name you can give it, but you should remember that file should have the extension called TF. .tf is the file extension you should have. So when you write the .tf, can you see here the logo? It is showing, right? Terraform logo. So you have to use the .tf. Is the file where you have to write the Ashika, right? So here, say I can give some name. Generally in the production environment, people will give you a main.tf. This is the main file where they will write the Terraform code. So just write main.tf. As of now, I'm not going to write anything on this, but I have a main.tf. And did you remember in the previous session? When I say previous session, yesterday, the day before yesterday, I was talking about Terraform workflow, right? I was talking about Terraform workflow. So
Yes, Dinesh.
first one, the first one is the init, right?
Yeah.
First one is the init, Terraform init. The second one, Terraform validate. The third one, Terraform plan. And the fourth one, Terraform apply. Then if you don't want,
Yes.
you just, destroy. So Terraform destroy. I hope I have explained each and every, right? Init, validate, plan, apply, and destroy. So this is a Terraform cycle, life cycle, Terraform workflow. So when you use the Terraform init, right? So what basically it will do, whatever the requirement, whatever the plugin that is required in order to interact with any services, that will be initialized like a Git init. And if you want to check the syntax error, any variable error, right? Then you can use the validate. Plan is something kind of a dry run. So it will not do the real modification on your servers. It just, will tell you, oh, these are the things is going to change. It will impact like this, right? That kind of dry run, right? In Ansible also, I spoke about this dry run. The same stuff is available in Terraform with the help of a plan. And if you want to really do the changes on your cloud, then you have to go with the apply. And finally, if you want to destroy, right? If you want to clean the resources, you want to clean your infrastructure, then destroy is the command you can go for. So say for an example, I have a dummy file. I have an empty Terraform file. I have an empty Terraform file. So if I type Terraform init, right? Terraform init. So it will, can you see here? It is initializing the provider plugin. Nothing I have written. So that's the reason it's saying Terraform has been successfully initialized, right? So I didn't write anything. So what I'm going to do, I will write a Terraform say Terraform validate. Right? Nothing I've written, but it is saying success. Nothing I've written, but the configuration is valid because it is a Terraform file. And say Terraform plan. I'm writing Terraform plan. So it will say no changes are needed because there is no code right here. So what changes that I'm going to do? I didn't do anything. So like that, we basically write the Terraform command. So now let me teach you maybe a simple, code we build a simple code and how it is working. We'll try to understand. Before that, any question? Any question?
No, Dinesh.
Okay. Okay. So, and there are two things you should remember, guys, when I talk about Terraform. One is a provider. One is provider. What is provider, guys? What is a provider?
Like
Cloud
internet
providers,
service provider,
AWS.
Infrastructure, right? Who is going to
infrastructure.
give the
Yeah.
infrastructure? So whether it is AWS or Azure, which infrastructure that I'm going to make use of, that is called a provider, right? And another one is resources. Another one is resources. So resources means uh, where you are going to use the resources on your infrastructure, right? The infrastructure on which you will provisioning the resources, right? Provisioning the servers or provisioning the storage, say EC2, right? You're going to create the EC2 server and you're going to use the EFS and you are going to create the S3, right? And you are going to create a Dynamo DB, right? So all those, we generally call it as resources, resource. Generally, we can call it as resource. Fine. So say this main.tf file, where suppose I'm writing, guys, in Terraform, we have block, guys. We have block. Right? So now I'm going to tell you how to write a block. So to write the block, first of all, you have to give, to write a block, you have to give, say, provider, space, provider. So who is the provider? That you have to define it here. Say, suppose I'm saying AWS is the provider. Azure is the provider. Whoever is the provider, that you should give it here. Say, in my case, I'm giving AWS is the provider. And you should write the block, curly braces, right? You should write the block, curly braces. This is called as a block. And this is the provider. This is a specific keyword. And whoever is the provider, that you can define it within a double quotation. Say, suppose I'm going to use the provider AWS and the region I'm going to use, uh, any region you can give it. Say I'm going to use the region called US East -1, which is North Virginia, right? US East -1. And I can give here my access key. I can give my access key here. So my access key, say this is my access key. This is my access key. And you can give the secret key also. You can give secret key. And this is my secret key. Secret key. So like that, you can write your code script. Provider is an AWS, and I'm saying this is a region, and this is my username and password. When I say username, password, access key and secret key. Guys, remember, if you are not giving access key and secret key, what will happen? What will happen? So what generally will happen? It will check your local machine. It will check your local machine, your home directory. Did you remember this access key and secret key is available in your home directory? That will refer it. Generally, people, they will not pass the access key and secret key inside the script. Even though if you are not passing, what will happen? That will refer your local machine. But if you are passing something, it will refer this particular, right? It will refer this one. But if you are not passing, what will happen? You don't need to worry. It will refer your local home directory where you have this credential folder, right? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah, there. So it's not mandatory to write access key and secret key, right?
Exactly. I'm saying yes. It is not mandatory to write the access key and secret. Right. So suppose I'm writing Terraform init command now. So when you init, right? So it is saying Terraform has been successfully initialized already. I have initialized my Terraform. And it is initialized the provider plugin also. The provider plugin means the AWS plugin that you have seen, right? In Google, I showed Terraform, which have different plugins, right? Provider. So now, if you type Terraform, validate, will check, is there any syntax problem? No. Syntax is okay. And I need to change, I need to see what kind of changes is going to do it. I'm just doing dry run. It is not going to do the real impact on the cloud. Just I'm checking a dry run. So it is again telling no changes. Your infrastructure matches the configuration. Because here I have given only the provider detail. Only I'm going to log in. I'm not going to create any resources and all. So if you want to do some resources, you have to do it actually. You need to create the resources. You need to create the resources on top of your AWS cloud. So I will tell you how to create the resources. Say suppose I'm writing one more block, say resource, and you have to pass two things. One is, see, this is resource block. Here you have to pass the resource type actually. You have to pass the resource type. What you want to create it? I want to create an instance. So I want to create an instance. See, if we go here, Terraform, resource, AWS. So I will go with can you see here they have given. So region, whatever the properties, that's the reason it is also called as a declarative language. HashiCorp language, it's a declarative language. Okay. So main.tf file that I'm creating. So
But declarative
declarative
language
means
means.
here we can declare the variable, declare the properties, thereby it will build the infrastructure. Here we are providing the properties, right? Kind of a key and value. Not like Java,
Okay.
not like a Python. YAML is the declarative language. The same way, HashiCorp also declarative language, kind of a properties.
Okay.
So here for each, we have a Terraform property. Suppose if you want to create an instance, you have to use this particular keyword, AWS underscore instance. AWS underscore instance. So thereby it means that what is the meaning of this one? On top of AWS cloud, create an instance. When I say instance, EC2. EC2 is an instance. And whatever the name that you want to give it, you can give it here. So whatever the name that I want, you can give it here. Say, suppose I'm giving instance 1. I want to create an instance called instance 1. And here you have to define a different properties, guys. Say, suppose I can give, so AMI, right? We have one property called AMI. You need to give AMI. I will take one AMI also. I will take one AMI. So here I will check my EC2. For every AMI, there is an AMI ID. For every AMI, we have an AMI ID, right? So I will take one AMI. Suppose I need I need this one, Linux machine. So here we have an EMI ID, right? Suppose if you need the Windows machine, for Windows machine also, there will be a EMI ID. So you have to give the EMI ID, which server that you want. Which server that you want? Say suppose I need a Linux server. So I can select this particular EMI ID and you can give it here. You can give it here. And say suppose I want to define another property, say instance type. What is the instance type? So the instance type is, say T2 micro. T2 dot micro. T2 dot micro is the instance type. And suppose if you want to give some key pair, I want to give key pair. You have a key pair name. Say I will go with this one. Key pair Windows, or you can create in, you can give another key pair also. Anything you can give it. Key pair if you want, you can give it. If you are not giving, that's also fine. Say suppose I will go with some key pair. I have this one. Key pair Windows. I will copy this. So key pair, key underscore name. This is my key pair. And say for an example, generally we will give the tags, right? So I will write some tags also. I will write some tags. So what is the tag I can give? Say tag. I will write some tag, say name, tag name, tag name, then some name, EC2 hyphen demo. That's what I'm giving. I'm giving some tag also. Okay. So like that, you can define your resources here. So here you are not directly going ahead and in the management console, you are not creating the EC2. But by writing the code, you are going to create an EC2 instance. You are going to build a EC2. So let me check whether it's working. So Terraform. Init. So Terraform init is completed. So let me write Terraform. Validate. We'll check is there any syntax problem. No syntax problem also. I will write Terraform. What I should do? Terraform plan. So when you press enter, what happened? Why? Yes. Inconsistency dependency log file. To make initial dependency. Let's try again. Okay, sorry. I think it is not saved. That's the reason. So let me, whatever the plugin is required to initialize your code, so it will install. See, it is installing the latest version of Ashik of AWS from your internet, right? So that will download it. And whatever the plugin is required, that will be getting downloaded. So now let me check the syntax. So it will check your code. No problem. So now let's write the plan command. Now whatever the changes that it is going to do it, right? That will be displayed here. Thereby we'll understand. Can you see here? It is saying one changes it's going to do. What is that? It's going to create an EC2 instance. It is going to create an EC2 instance. Now, if you want to do all those changes in your server cloud, I need to use the apply command. But before that, can you see here? There are different files got created. .terraform file got created, and terraform.lock HCL file. So these are the different file will be created here. But now let me write Terraform apply. Press enter. Terraform apply. Now we have a state file, right? This is the state file. So the current state will be captured here. Current state. Can you see here? One file got added. So it is telling, do you want to perform this action? Yes. I'm saying yes. Yes. So it is creating on top of AWS, it is creating one instance called instance one. The instance name are given instance one. Still it is creating. We'll wait. So meantime, I'm checking here. Is there an instance got created? Can you see here? One instance got created. EC2-demo. EC2-demo. In US East region, it got created. And it is also saying your apply completed, right? Your apply got completed. It is up and running right now. Now, how we have created this EC2? From outside, right? With the help of your Terraform. So far clear?
Yeah, then.
Guys. So you should write the code, Terraform code, Ashikar, declarative language, right? Using that, you can able to build your the infrastructure. You can build your infrastructure. Say suppose you are suppose you are changing this. You are changing the tag name. Say EC2-demo, EC2-demo -1, like that you are given. Now tell me, what do you think? What do you think? Will it create a new instance or it will be updated? What do you think? Will it
It will
create the
create an it will create an instance.
new instance or same instance will be getting updated?
Maybe
We
it
are
will
changing only the tag name, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it will update the name or it will create the instance.
So
update.
so I will tell you Terraform plan. So we'll check what is the dry run is saying. So dry run.
Added.
We'll see. Can you see here what it is saying? Added or destroyed or changed? Updated, right?
It is going to modify the instance
Exactly.
name.
Exactly. So your instance name will be modified when you use the apply command now. Right? If you use the apply command, use the apply command. So here I should give this. We'll see. Now it is just updating. Just updating. Okay. So suppose if I'm changing T2 micro 2, says T2 nano. Now tell me what it will do. It will update
It
and
will
it will create.
an instance.
It will create the instance. Will it create the instance? We'll see.
But name is same, right? So definitely
Hmm. See, it is not. It is not creating. It is updating.
updating it.
It is modifying. Right.
So
So
if we want to create a new instance, again, we have to write another block.
yes.
The-
Yes. Correct. So, but I need to tell you few more things, Fate, Jaya, I will tell you. So now suppose Terraform, I'm using apply, say I will do auto apply because every time it is asking me to say yes, auto apply. Terraform, Terraform apply, hyphen, auto, auto approve, not auto apply, auto. So now I'm changing from T2 micro to T2 nano. Now it's T2 micro. Okay. Will wait. So it will wait. Still modify.
And Dinesh, what about the keeper? Keeper is also like, can we change keeper? Usually,
See, generally we will not change the key pair and all.
yeah, usually we don't write.
Yeah. So can you see here? So it got modified. T2 nano got modified. Right? Correct.
Yes.
Say suppose I'm going to change the I will change the AMI now. Say suppose I will go with the Ubuntu. We'll go with the Ubuntu machine. So Ubuntu has some AMI ID. I will copy this AMI. We'll go with the AMI. So here I will change the AMI. I will save this. Now can you tell me now what will happen if I use the plant command?
It will create new because the AMI
Yes.
itself is new.
So what it will do, it will destroy the old AMI. It will destroy the old EC2. Now it will create the new EC2 with the given information. Right?
Desktop will be done automatically.
Yes. It will delete the old EC2. Because the same block that you're updating, right? No, you don't have that. You don't need that EMI, right?
But then if
Yeah.
any data available in the previous instance, that will also get deleted. And
Exactly.
then it,
Correct. Yes. See, one got destroyed. It's
Only
saying
go to
I will add one. So to check this one, if I use apply command, now what it will do? It will start terminating your EC2. It will terminate your EC2. This EC2 will be terminated. This EC2 will be, see, shutting down. It is not stopping. It is terminating. Shutting down refers terminating, right? Now it will change. It will create with the same properties you have given. Using that, it will create an. It got terminated. Now it will build one more EC2 for us. Can you see here? When you change the AMI, this is what will happen. So are you clear?
Yes, sir.
So whatever that I have covered so far, any question on this?
So to creating or destroying this infrastructure, we need to get approval from higher ups, right? So
Base
we will
generally we
get
will not,
approval.
yeah, generally we will not destroy Aman. When you join a company,
Okay.
3 years or 4 years experience, right? Definitely they will not destroy it,
Okay.
right?
In order
Even
to
to
create
tell me.
in order to create this instance or infrastructure, we need to get approval, right?
Exactly. We should get the approval. But what I'm saying, when you join a new company, right? Already, if they are using the Terraform, they already have the infrastructure. They have written already the code. So what you generally do, you will do the modification.
Okay.
On the code level, you will do the modification, kind of a maintenance activity you will do. But when you join a new company or new project, that time only you will start building the infrastructure from the scratch. Say
Okay.
your manager is giving some requirement saying that, hey Aman, this is what I need to do. Like that, they will give kind of a POC, a point of contract, sorry, proof of concept. They will give you some documentation. Using that, you have to build the infrastructure with the perfect Terraform, and you have to give some kind of demo. If that demo, if people among the company, right, they are happy, they will ask you to build it,
Okay.
but not directly to the production, right? So people will expect you to do it in the lower life cycle environment. Later only they
We can
will
do that
want
in
to, yes,
testing environment. We can do this practice at
exactly.
all.
Correct, correct.
So we generally receive a task or requirement in a ticketing tool, right, sir?
Yes, through the ServiceNow or Jira board, you will receive the ticket. Using the ticket, you have to do the task. Correct.
Okay, but actually, I don't know about the ticketing tool. How to use that, like Jira and or ServiceNow.
Maybe I will allocate some session for Jira, and that way you will understand, right? How to see the ticket, how to read the ticket, what kind of description will be available. That I will tell you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
See, we have some Jira UI. We have a Jira. Jira is the project management tool. Today, nowadays, every IT company, they are using Jira for their project management, for task management. So you can see like this Jira board available like this. So here, can you see here? This is the ticket ID, ticket key. And here you can see the description. What task you have to do. See, one person raised a ticket saying that Wi-Fi not working in level 3. Maybe in level 3 is a kind of environment. And who is the reporter? John Duncan, right? It is assigned to maybe Aman. So assigned status is to do. It means that he is going to start the work. Like that, the ticketing could raise that. What you need to do, you have to click on this and you have to see the complete picture. Once you are going to start working on this, you will open the ticket, right? So you have to change the status here. But okay, so I will tell you guys how to use the Jira. Okay.
Like
Okay.
ServiceNow is also same,
Yes,
Dinesh.
same.
Oh, okay. So usually we only do the incident part, like the incident tickets part. That's it.
Yes. Jira is just to, see the tickets, right? What kind of task they have assigned, what kind of description, the total, the risk, or maybe high priority or the low priority, and you have to
Yeah,
assign to some
priority.
other person, you have to close it, raising the bugs, everything. That's it.
Okay. So we
So,
don't configure anything. It is just we
yeah,
use it.
yes, correct. So generally
Okay.
what will happen in real time, most of the company today, they are using something called Slack, kind of WhatsApp. So this is where people will communicate. Slack. Slack is one channel, right? This Slack channel generally got integrated with Jira. What will happen when someone is they have raised or they have created some ticket and assigned to some person? Automatically, you will get the notification in your Slack. Are you getting?
Yes,
So
yes,
we can
Dinesh.
talk to that person like
Yes.
in a chat,
Yes,
WhatsApp,
in a
like that.
chat, yes. When you type
Mhm.
something and when you press enter, right, that will be command will be added inside the Jira also. You no need to directly go to the Jira and you no need to add the command. Simply,
Yeah.
you can have the conversation inside the Slack also. And it will vary company to company. In my previous company, I was using the Slack channel, and that time, I didn't use the Jira and all. The reason because all those information will be available in the Slack itself because it got integrated. But some company they don't have the Slack channel. What they will do? They will go for this Jira. And one more thing I am telling you guys, Slack channel can be integrated with your AWS cloud also, with your Jenkins also. Anything we can able to integrate. Here also we have a mini plugin. So what is the benefit? Suppose if you are getting some notification in your Jira, as like I said, right, we will send the notification to the email. But generally it will happen in Slack also. Are you getting?
Okay.
So leave it. So now okay. One got added and one got destroyed. I will see it. Guys, in real time, right? So the people they are writing this particular code, maybe a Terraform engineer. Right? So he is very good in Terraform, and he might have like 5 years or 6 years experience in Terraform. He know how to write the code and all. Kind of a Devops senior engineer, right? So that person, he will not hard code guys like this. Do you know what is hard code? What is hard code? So whenever if you have like this, right, you have some key and the value. You have some key and the value. The people will not directly write inside this particular file. Directly, they will not write it. Generally, what they will do, they will create one separate file where they will maintain the variables. Where they will maintain variable. Do you know what is variable? What is variable? So variable is like a kind of a container to store some data. And I think you know variable. The reason because you have done the Python, right? In Python, Archana told you what is variable, correct?
Yeah, Dinesh.
Variable is like a container to store some data. Say A equal to 10, A equal to Magalakshmi, A is equal to 1, 2, 3. Like A is a variable, right? There are different variables are available. Integer, string, float kind of variable, double type of variable. Like in the same way, in Terraform also, we have a concept called variable. So whatever the variable, whatever the data that you have right here, you have used this data. This is the variable. This is the data. This is the variable. So you can store it in the separate file also. You can store it in the separate file. How can you store into the separate file? Say suppose, let me take, this is the region, right? This is the region. This region, I want to store it in separate file. Separate file. So what I will do, I will write variable like that. Here you have to define the variable type variable. So what is the variable? Say for an example, region is the variable. I'm saying region is the variable. And here you can type, what is the type? Type is say this is a string type. String type variable. And you want to give the value also, right? What is the default value that you are going to give? So the value is this one. US is to 1. US is to 1. That's the value. US hyphen is to 1. You can define it like this. And suppose you can define, okay, here we have another double quotation. That's the reason. So let me remove this. So I will define one more variable. Say variable is AMI. Variable is AMI. Say type. Type is, this is also string type. And you can define the value also. So the value is say T2 micro. T2 micro is the value. And another variable. Say variable. Say what is the another variable we have used? So instance type we have used, right? Okay, AMI. I made the mistake. Sorry. AMI. This is the AMI. So let me copy this. Let me copy this and you can put it AMI. And suppose if you want to add instance type, instance type, and I can add a type and value. So which is T2 micro. Like that, you can add many variable in your project. Say, suppose I want to add key name. Is the key name, right? Key name variable. Say I'm adding key name and the type is I'm adding string and value. This is the value. This is the value. So what else we have? And suppose I want to add tax. I want to add tax. So anything you can add it, guys. So as of now, let me what I do. Here instead of region, I will remove this region. Now simply I can simply instead of region, what I will write? I will write variable dot dot region right? Region. Variables dot region. Variables dot region. So for AMI, you can write variables dot 1 minute, guys. Let me check that. Variable thereof. So this is BR. So BR. Variable dot region. So here variable dot instance type. Instance type. This one variable dot keep. So here variable dot EMI. Like that, you can create the separate file also where you can store the variable and you can call them. Now let me check. Let me check Terraform, or you can give some other name now. EC2 like that. Terraform. 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 Plan command. Now let's see whether it is working or not. Is it working? We'll see. An input variable with the region has not been declared. An input variable with the region. What is the error? Let's check the syntax problem first. Is that file got saved? Terraform. Validate. One declared input variable. On main.tf file. Variable.region. It's correct only. Why it is not taking this one? And input variable with name region has not been declared. This variable can be declared with the variable region. This is region. Okay. Let's check one minute. Please be on the call. Okay, guys, tomorrow I will tell you this one, why it is not happening. Okay. So, any question till here? So far, whatever covered, any question till here? No.
The video.
I need 2 hours, Jaya, I will upload.
Yeah, and Docker's last video is also not uploaded, I think.
Let me
Dinesh,
check.
you can-
Let me check, Jaya.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Bye.